Guru Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. We are entering to a very, 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 very important chapter. Why is it so? Bhagavan himself says, this is the knowledge of knowledges. Jnananam jnanamuttamam. How can that be? There are several chapters which were important, Bhakti Yoga, and then Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. How can 14th chapter talking about gunas be the best? Bhagavan himself says that. Why? Up to now, we had, because the intellect cannot take to any practice if it is not completely convinced. Therefore, up to now, Bhagavan has given a complete data we need to take his message in the 14th chapter. What was the data we needed for this? That is very funny. That's very interesting and funny, because we have been taught about the nature of the Atman. It doesn't die. It is not subject to disease. Death is like changing the dress. And if you are not able to experience this, reduce the vasanas through karma yoga, change the quality through bhakti yoga, then do meditation. And meditation also, direct method, indirect method, and then 4 types of devotees, and then Vibhuti Yoga, Vishwarupa Darshanam, Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga Nama. All these details were given. And now what is important in 4th chapter? He says, you didn't need all that. You didn't need all that. Why he put us into trouble so long, and now he says, you don't need all that. Yeah, because you won't accept me without convincing you, so I had to make you go through all that. I told you my own example in the beginning of these classes, that once when I was 19 years, fell in the bathroom, swooned completely. And then I went to a doctor. In 1959, he prescribed medicines for 400 rupees. I have completely, even without opening the seal, put them into waste paper basket. And I was all right. Nothing happened to me. That's what Krishna says. All these things you don't need. What is it you need? You are the subject. Does anybody has a doubt on that? You are the subject. So you are real. That's your experience. You are the subject. You are real. You exist. You have life. You are the subject. you exist, you have life. And when you sleep, when the mind and intellect disconnected, you are happiness. So you are that Satchidananda, the subject. Right? So what? All sorrows belong to the objects, the, starting from the body, mind, intellect, objects, emotions, thoughts. You are none of them. You are the subject. So you have no sorrow, you have no death. Then what you should do? You need not do anything. Then why all this teaching? Because you are thinking you have to do something. Because nobody believes, even after doing so much, you don't get anything. And you say, you don't do anything and you will discover you are God. Very difficult to believe. Very difficult to believe. Bhagavan makes it simple. You are the subject. Problems belong to the object. Therefore, whatever you can objectify, you say, this is not me. Problems belong to them. I am the subject. This is the simplest way. I had, in every class, 10 times, I must have emphasized. This is called Drig Drishya Viveka, seer seen meditation. Seer seen meditation. Whatever you can see is not you. Body is seen, mind is seen, intellect is seen, everything is seen, you are not that. All problems belong to them. You have no problem. So what you have to do? Simply see whether the problem belongs to the scene or not. If it belongs to the scene, just say it belongs to the scene. I am the seer, I have no problems in me. This is all. This is what Gurudev's BMI chart. Om reflected in the vasanas gets split and becomes BMI, seeking its fulfillment in OET, becoming the PFT. All of them is Om split through vasanas. Either remove the vasanas, the reflecting medium. When the sun is reflected in a bucket and the waters are agitated, sun is agitated. To pour out the water, sun is not agitated, sun is firm. Remove the vasanas. Or just peep through the vasanas, behind it, who is it? Know that to be the Omkara. Everything else is its reflection. Disconnect. Say, this is not me. This is not me. I am the Omkara. These are all my reflections. Can there be anything simpler than this? Just to know that all your challenges belong either to the body, mind, or intellect. You are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect. Because they are changing, you are aware of the changes, you don't change. So just say, this is not me. This is the highest meditation called Sahaja Samadhi, which is the simplest. Highest meditation, simplest meditation given in the 14th chapter. Why? Because you will not accept anything simple. You only believe in working and working very hard. Then only you believe it is worth it. There used to be some doctors in our period, even I had gone to them. Just to say you don't have any disease, they will make you go through 1,000 tests. They knew you didn't have anything. Then why? Because you don't believe if he simply says you don't have anything. you will insist you are not seeing me properly. So they'll make you go through all the tests and say there is no problem with you, but pay my fees and go. So this is what 14th chapter says. Therefore, Bhagavan says this is jnananam jnanamuttamam. What is 14th chapter? Talks about three gunas. What are the three gunas? If there has to be a creation, any creation, it needs three factors. Something to handle, material, and something to make it move, passion, something to guide, reason. Any creation needs these three things. If everything starts moving on its own, you can't create anything out of it. Mud has to be stationary, gold has to be stationary for you to create out of gold, out of mud. So it has one aspect which it doesn't move. That is mud and ornaments. But human being, he needs a body which doesn't move on its own unless you tell it. It doesn't move on its own. Like a car which does not move on its own. A car needs petrol and a driver, and a steering, and an accelerator. So the car needs petrol. The mind needs a steering, the intellect, needs the accelerator, the passion, needs the gear, changing the gear, the disciplines. All these you need for the car to move. So also you need a body, you need a mind to have the passion, you need an intellect to guide it. Now, without this, no creation is possible. So the body is inert and stationary. Mind is passion. Naturally, passion is restlessness. Intellect is quietude, guiding. Right? So the one energy that creates you, puts three factors in you. The inert matter, the passionate mind, the guiding intellect. Inert matter is called tamas. Passionate mind is called rajas. The guiding intellect is called sattva. You need these three for any creation. So Bhagavan brought it. Where from he brought it? Were there something other than Bhagavan so that he can bring it? Is there something other than Bhagavan so he can bring it? No. He brought it from himself. How? He has the power in him to bring out the creation. But creation needs these three gunas, he brings it out. Where were they in Bhagavan? That's his own nature. Where was heat and light in the fire? Its own nature. Is heat and light different from fire? Is sattva rajo tamo guna different from Bhagavan? They are all in Bhagavan, not different from him. Like the heat and fire, heat and form are not different from fire. Heat and form are not different from fire. Sattva rajo tamo gunas are not different from Bhagavan. Okay. So these sattva, rajo, tamo gunas, together for you to understand, is called Maya. Is called Maya. Maya is defined in many ways. The simplest way is, the simplest way to understand Maya is, which is experienced but not there. Which is experienced but not there. Dream is experienced, but it's not there. Serpent on the rope is seen, but it is not there. Ghost on the post is seen, it's not there. That which is not there but experienced is called Maya. Sanskrit definition, asad, bhana matram. Asad, not real. Bhana matram, manifest. So this is the world. Because there cannot be anything other than God, because He is there everywhere. How can something else be there where it will be? It's only Bhagavan, not seen, appears to be the world, like the rope not seen, appears to be the snake, like the waker wheeling himself, appears to be the dream world. So this whole world is, when not seen, covered by your own ignorance, like in the sleep. You see the plurality in it. That power by which Bhagavan appears to be many without himself changing, like the gold without changing appears to be the different ornaments, is called Maya. That Maya manifests as three gunas, Sattva guna, Rajo guna, and Tamo guna. So now, anything belonging to Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna is Maya. What is Maya is not there, appears to be there. Therefore, you see anything, you feel anything, you experience anything. If you see in them gunas, these qualities, Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna, you have to simply say they are gunas. They are together called Maya. It is not there. How can you see something which is not there? Because Maya is not different from Bhagavan. What you are seeing as different, the world, Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna, world is nothing other than Bhagavan. The snake that you are seeing is because it is nothing other than rope. How can you see a snake without something there, substratum? The substratum is there. When you don't see the substratum, you see it differently. Bhagavan alone is there. When you don't see him, you see him as the world. The seen world is not real. The substratum behind the world, which is you, the subject, is real. How much time I am exerting to tell a simple thing? Because you don't do this thinking. Therefore, I am exerting. And the more I exert, the more you get confused. There's no choice. I am exerting so much because you do not do the thinking. And the more I explain, the more you will get confused. What is in simple terms? Whatever is seen is an appearance. It is nothing other than Bhagavan. Bhagavan has none of the problems that you imagine. All problems belong to the appearances which is brought out by your mind. The mind that doesn't see Bhagavan projects it as many, and there you see the problems. See the rope, you are not afraid of the snake. See the post, you are not afraid of the ghost. Know the waker, you are not afraid of the dream world. So it is this mind which is Maya. This mind itself is Maya, which projects the world. When the mind is not there in sleep, there is no world. World is projected by the mind. Just like a single ray of light passing through a prism is split into many, Bhagavan, seen through the mind, appears to be the world. Therefore, how do you remove the mind? You need not. Just see behind the mind, where from the mind starts. That is Bhagavan, the consciousness. Wherever you see anything, whatever is seen, because it is seen, it is not real. The very reason it is seen and experienced, it is not real, because that belongs to Maya. But that which is seen and experienced is nothing but Bhagavan. How do you see that? Just look behind all experiences. What is there constantly is that conscious existence, and that is Bhagavan. This is the direct, simple teaching given in the 14th chapter, elaborately dealt in 13th chapter, roots of it were there in the 7th chapter. Roots of the 13th chapter, talking about Maya and Purusha, that's Prakriti and Purusha, Kshetra and Kshetrajna, Apara and Para in 7th chapter. All details given. Only to tell you in the 14th chapter, Prakriti, Kshetra, Maya, Apara, all are nothing but expressions of that one Para, that Kshetrajna, that Kutastha, that Brahman. I am not putting in negative language deliberately, because we are all used to this negative talking. That is Maya, that's not real. I love poi. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you to escape something you are experiencing. You are hurt. Allah Maya and solli summa irukka mudiyuma. So, if you see it positively, that's also Bhagavan coming to me in that form. I needed it. You don't resist it. You welcome him. And there is joy. So therefore, I am not emphasizing on the negation part. I am saying what you are negating as Maya, as Guna, as Kshetra is all Bhagavan only. But for you to practice anything that disturbs you, say it is Gunas, it is Maya, it is mine, not me. I am the subject, they are the object. I not only completed the 14th chapter, I completed all the Vedas in these few minutes. There's nothing beyond what I said in the Vedas. This is all you have to learn. This is all you have to learn. After this, you should not have a doubt. If you have a doubt, listen again and again till you have no doubts. And when you don't have a doubt, what you should do? Try to teach this to 2-3 people. By that, your Rishi Runa will be over. Otherwise, your Rishi Runa is not over. Okay. Now, I have said many a time, the best way anything is put, any complex topic is in Bhagavatam. I explained so much unnecessarily because I did not know how to explain it directly, and it is my ignorance that make it complex and giving you so many details. The more I talk, the more I confuse you. But Bhagavatam says it in a very simple, beautiful way, in one line. I will read it for you. Remember, take down and meditate. Before I forget, 1177, because you would like to refer. 11.7.7. Yedidam manasa vacha chakshubhyam sravanadibihi nashwaram gruhyamanam cha vidhi maya manomayam. Yed idam manasa vacha chakshubhyam sravanadibihi nashwaram gruhyamanam cha vidhi maya manomayam. Yedidam, whatever is there, manasa, through the mind, vacha, through the words, chakshubhyam, through the eyes, sravanadibihi, through the ears, nashwaram, which is continuously changing, finite, gruhyamanam, you are able to grasp it, you are able to grasp it, have the experience of it with the maya. If you are seeing it, if you are hearing it, if you are talking about it, it is maya. And what is this maya? Manomayam, nothing but your own mind. What is this maya? Manomayam, nothing but your own mind. Okay? Gurudev told me, be kind to them, don't confuse them anymore. So I am entering into the text. Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Param Bhuya Pravakshami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yajnatva Munaya Sarve Param Siddhi Mito Gataha. Param, Supreme, Bhuyaha again. Pravakshami, will declare. Param, Supreme, the ultimate. What we all see, infinite, not subject to change, nothing beyond it. Bhuyaha Pravakshami, I will again tell you. What again tell you? Where did you tell me earlier? In the 7th chapter I told, in the 13th chapter I told. And now, therefore, I am again repeating. Bhuyaha pravakshami. Vakshami, tell you. Pravakshami, in all detail, I'll tell you. Jnananam jnanamuttamam. The knowledge of knowledges. The highest knowledge of all the knowledges. Yet jnatva, having known which, munayaha, the contemplative ones, mananasilavan muni, the contemplative ones, sarve param siddhi mito vitaha. All of them after this life, means after the life of the ego, not necessarily you should die. After the life of the ego, siddhim, to perfection, gataha, they reached. They reached. That highest knowledge I am giving you, says Bhagavan. Idam jnanamupasritya namasadharmyamagataha sarge pinopajayante pralayena vyathanti cha. Why is this jnananam jnanamatam highest knowledge? Because idam jnanamupasritya, depending on this knowledge, aligning with this knowledge, having taken refuge in this knowledge, mamasadharmyamagataha, you shall reach my being. The wave in the bubble, knowing itself not the name and the form, it is the essential water. By that very mere knowledge, the wave in the bubble attain immortality, changeless nature by the very knowledge. Idam jnanam upasritya mama sadharmyamagataha, the wave in the bubble have reached the dharma of the water. Sarge upajayante, when the wave is born, water is not born. Pralayena vyathantica, when the wave dies, water is not disturbed. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyaham sambhavat sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. My womb is that Brahma, in that I put my seed. Sambhavat sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. Thus all beings are created. What is Mama Yoni Mahat Brahma? Mahat is the total vasanas. Brahma is the creative energy, total mind and intellect. total mind and intellect, and total Mula Prakriti, that Mahat, the primordial Brahma or Mula Prakriti, in that I put my seed. That's the material, that is the hardware. In that Bhagavan enters himself, and that is the software. Sambhava sarva bhutanam tato yati tato bhavati bharata. That's how all beings come into manifestation. Prakriti, in that Purusha, together the Jiva. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtayaha sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahadyonihi aham bija pradaha pita. The same thing is repeated. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtayaha sambhavantiyaha. Whatever forms are produced through the various wombs, all of them are basically the Mahat, the Mula Prakriti, and I am the one who put my seed into that. He himself repeats this because it's important for us to understand. Sattvam rajastama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha nibadnanti mahabahu dehe dehinam. Everything is Mula Prakriti. Mula Prakriti is Bhagavan's own nature. And Bhagavan's seed. Then why are people miserable? Then why are people different? Everything is Mula Prakriti. And the seed is Bhagavan. Why are people miserable? Everything is the same iron body of the car and the same petrol. Why do some people reach home, some people reach hospital? Bhagavan says, Sattvam rajastama iti gunaha prakriti sambhavaha nibadnanti mahabaho dehe dehinam. These three gunas bind the person in this body. What are the three gunas? Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. Sattva intellect, Rajas mind, Tamas body. Sattva coititude, Rajas restlessness, Tamas inertia, stupidity, carelessness, procrastination. So these three gunas bind all. Oh, Sattva also binds. I can understand Rajas bind. I can't understand even Tamas can bind because body is same. What can it do to anybody? How can Sattva bind? Rajas binds, I cannot understand. All of them bind. How? He is now telling us. The various traits, Traits, traits of each guna. What are their functions? How do they bind? What are their symptoms? And what happens when you die, when is predominant? All these various aspects, how to transcend. All these various aspects is going to explain one by one. Now, what are their traits and how do they bind is the first topic. Tatra, there, sattvam, nirmalatvat, prakashakam, anamayam. Sattva is nirmalatvam. Nirmalatvam, mala is anything foreign material is called mala. Earth, you don't call it dirt. When it falls in a shirt, you call it dirt. Vasanas are your mala because it is foreign to you. So in Sattva Guna, the Vasanas are least. Nirmalatvat prakashakam. Its nature is brightness, illumining. At the level of the intellect, you are bright. Anamayam, free from disease, means defects. How does it bind you? Sukha sangena bhadnati, jnana sangena bharata, chanaka. It binds you in the form of comfort and hunting after knowledge. Sattva binds you in the form of comfort and hunting after knowledge. Supposing you are a sattvic person, retired, only 11 classes in 7 days, 4 times meditation, and listen to YouTube, iTube, etc., various lectures and Bhagavatam. You don't do anything other than this. Very sattvic person. Least disturbance in the house, you cannot stand it. You are finished. You can't stand the least disturbance, your comfort level. Is that not a bondage? It's also a bondage. And then hunt after knowledge. What knowledge you have to hunt? To be told that even the knowledge that you got, because you got it from outside, is Maya, is not real. Aparavidya, Mandakopanishad. So therefore, Sattva also binds. How? Through traits of it, through aspects. One is love for quietude, another is running after knowledge. Rajas, Rajo Ragatmakam Vidhi, Trishna Sanga Samudbhavam, Tan Nibadnati Kaunteya, Karma Sangena Dehinam. What are the traits of Rajas? Nature of passion. Its nature is thirst and attachment. All the time, want this, want that, want to be recognized. I want this, I want that, I must get this, I must get that, I must be recognized. Running after recognition, running after this, running after that. Continuously. Right? Thirst and attachment. And therefore, it also binds. How? Because when you have thirst and attachment, you want to procure, you want to secure, therefore all the time run. This running is called action. So Rajoguna binds through action. Sattva-guna binds through knowledge. Rajoguna binds through action. Tamas sajnanadam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya alasya nidrabihi tannibadnati bharata. Tamasu is ajnana, its traits. Mohanam, delusion. What is delusion? Seeing one thing to be the other. We always give you the example of seeing a snake in a rope. That's not dangerous. That will only create fear. It's not dangerous. But what happens when you take a rope to be a snake? Very dangerous. When you take a rope to be snake, very dangerous. This example is given when Putana took Krishna. The explanation given was she thought Krishna is a rope. She didn't know he is a snake. So the world, you think it is real. You think it has happiness. And therefore you try to hug it. It bites you at the right time. That's called mohanam. Sarvadehinam, of all embodied, pramada, carelessness. Alasya, laziness. Nidra, slothfulness. sleep. Through them it binds. Bharat. Nidra doesn't mean only sleeping on the bed. Nidra, closing your eyes to potential dangers around you. That's Nidra. Closing your eyes to potential dangers around you. That is Nidra. Halasyam. You know the problem is there. Lazy. It's okay. Let us see when it comes. And when it comes, you have no time. Pramada. Carelessness, handling things, and also that's procrastination also. Heedlessness, not trying to attend to it. That's called tamas. Right. And therefore, now he's summing up. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajah karmani bharata jnanam avrutyata tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. Sattva binds you, attaches you to sukha. Rajaha karmani bharata. Rajas binds you, attaches you to action. Tamaha pramade sanjayatyuta. Tamas attaches you to pramada, heedlessness, and because of that, danger, pramada. Tamil we use pramada for saying something good. That is pramoda, has become pramada. Pramada is danger. And so these three things. So can you say somebody is sattvic? Can you say somebody is rajasic? Can you say somebody is tamasic? No, you cannot say. Why? You yourself, in the morning when you get up, when you are planning, you are sattvic. Go to office, you are rajasic. Tired, want to rest, you are tamasic. And many a time you don't know why your mind is quiet and peaceful. Other times you don't know why it is restless. So these gunas, they manifest in you time to time, differently. How do they manifest? How do they manifest in you? Rajas tamaschavi bhuya sattvam bhavati bharata. Sattva overpowers rajas and tamas and predominates. Sattva overpowers rajas and tamas and predominates. Rajaha sattvam tamascheva. Rajas overpowers sattva and tamas and predominates. Tamas sattvam rajas tada. Tamas overpowers sattva and rajas and predominates. Okay, what are the symptoms? Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyat vivruddham sattamityuta. When through every gate, dwaram is gate. Dwareshu, in the gates, in the body, there is brilliance. You see light in them. There is brilliance. Then it may be known sattva is predominant. Because sattva is quietude, brings out knowledge. That's called light. That's called brilliance. I can understand. Brilliance is brought out in intellect. Why in all dwaras? Yes, you are going on the road. There is a beautiful flower. There is a full moon. Or when you are driving through the west, lovely sunset. You have not noticed them. That means sattva is not there. What is there? Agitations of the office and the house. Rajas is there. If sattva is there, you won't miss them. You will not miss the beautiful flower on the wayside, nor the full moon, nor the sunset. You won't miss them. And that is the symptom to know whether you are in sattva or not. So, because everything, your eyes recognizes the beauties, your ears recognizes the lovely music, the bird chirping while you are going, while you are walking. Are you available to that? If not, you are not in sattva. If you are attracted towards them, there is light in your ears, like light in your eyes, knowledge, and you are in sattva. Beautiful fragrance of udubatti. That should make you understand there is some lovely puja going on. Smell. Right? Like that, when there is illumination in all your senses, that means your mind is quiet and calm and beautiful, and that is sattva guna. That is the symptom. When knowledge pours out from all your holes, it is sattva guna. Rajoguna, how do I know? Lobha pravrittirarambha karmana mashmaspruha rajas etani jayante vibruddhe bharatarshava. Lobha, greed. Pravrittirarambha, all the time do this, do that. Karmana mashamaha, restlessness while doing actions. Rajasyetani jayante. These things come from rajas. Vibruddhe bharatarshava. Greed. Any amount not enough. Any amount not enough. It need not be money alone. Power. Even classes. I tell you, I am not going to take any more classes. But immediately I want some more classes. Why? Greed. Even that is this thing. You think you are the doer. Ahankara. So greed, pravrittirarambha. I must do this, I must do that. Karmana masamaha, restlessness in all action. There is no quietude, there is no beauty in that activity. You disturb everybody around you. That is rajas. Tamas, aprakasho apravrittischa pramado moha evacha tamasyata nijayamte vibruddhe kurunandana. Aprakasha, you do not register anything beautiful going on before you. Lovely moonlight, lovely sunset, lovely flowers. Why all that? While you are walking, a Mahatma like Gurudev or Kanchi Mahaperiva going before you, you don't notice. They're going before you, great opportunity. You don't notice. Right? So aprakasha, apravritticha, and inertia. Right? Inertness, pramadaha, heedlessness, moha, delusion. When all these things come, tamasyetani jayante. You have to understand, tamas is predominant in you. Tamas is predominant in you. Why it is called tamas? Because when you are in that, you become an object of ridicule, tamas for others. And when the sattva is predominant in you, when you die, what happens? Yada sattve pravruddhetu pralayam yati dehabrute tadottama vidam lokan amalan pratipadyate. When you die, when the sattva is predominant, you shall go to amalan, dirtless, clear, uttama vidam, higher planes of consciousness, you shall go. Rajasi pralayam gatva karma shangi sujayate. When rajas is predominant in you, and when you die at that time, tatha pradinas tamasi mudhayo nishijayate, you get into families of complete delusion, those who think the money is real, money gives happiness, money has happiness. All this is delusion. Shankara Bhagavan says, which we repeat, we don't understand. Ma kuru dana jana yavvana garbham harati nimesha kalas sarvam maya maya midam akhilam buddhva brahma padam tvam pravisha viditva. So, when you die in Rajas, you will be born in such deluded families. Karmana sukrutasyahu. Oh, sorry, what is this? Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu. You will be born in people attached to karma. Tata pralinas tamasi mudayo nishujayat. Sattva, you will be born in families, thinkers. Rajas, karma sangishu, people who are attached to karma. Tamas, people who are deluded, take one thing to be the other. Karmana sukrutas. I just fumbled up just 1 minute before. You don't worry about that because it is not noticeable. So you take this statement I made just now, that is through sattva. When you die, you will be born in an atmosphere where you can gain a lot of enlightenment. When you die in rajas, you will be born in atmosphere where everybody is attached to actions. When you die in tamas, you will be born where you confuse yourself, take one thing to be the other, deluded. What are the results of all this? Karmana sukrutasyahu satvikam nirmalam phalam rajasastu phalam dukkham ajnanam tamasastu phalam. The fruit of sattvic action, good action, they say, is sattvic and pure. Pure actions, sattvic. That is, they don't bring you reactions. Actions are done, the very action brings you joy, does not bind you. That's sattvikam. Rajasastu phalam dukkham. Actions done of greed, done for want of recognition, it only brings you sorrow, dukkham. Ajnanam tamasa phalam. And actions done through tamas, they only bring you more and more ignorance. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha madhye tishtanti rajasaha jaganyagunan vrittistaha adho gachanti tamasaha. Sattva people, urdhvam gachanti, they go to higher worlds. Madhye tishtanti rajasaha. Higher, lower, and underground, not to be geographically taken. Higher worlds means worlds where there are better tastes. That's called higher worlds, where it is not mere eating, drinking, and sleeping. Right? Where your senses are more alert. Relatively, for your understanding, you can call it Swargaloka. When you die through Sattva or Brahmaloka. Rajas, mostly human birth or this year. Jaganya guna vrittista adho gachanti tamasaha. When tamas, you may be, if you are lucky, born as an animal, otherwise as a tree or as a stone. What is all this going on? Why are you talking all this? Confusing. Why I need all this? This is the clue. This is the clue not for this chapter. This is the clue for all your moksha, emancipation, understanding. This loka. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanupashyati gunebhyascha param vetam madbhavam sodhi gacchati. Understanding all actions are done by the sattva rajotamo gunas. And I am not the sattva rajo tamo guna. I am different from them. Understanding all actions are products of these three gunas, sattva rajo tamo guna. I am not these gunas. I am above them. I am different from them. You have clearly understood the difference between the object and the subject, between Maya and Brahman, between Prakriti and Purusha. Therefore, you will be that Brahman. You will be that Brahman. And now, Godan yetan atitya tridehi deha samudbhavan janma mrityu jara dukkaihi vimukto amrutamasnute. Going beyond these three gunas, this dehi, this indweller in the body, deha samudbhava, out of which this body has come, janma mrityu jara dukkaihi vimuktaha, freed from birth, death, sorrow. Vimuktaha, once for all freed. Muktaha, freed. Vimuktaha, once for all freed. Amritama ashnute, he attains, enjoys, knows, recognizing his own being, the immortal self. He gains the immortality if you go beyond the three gunas. And Bhagavan has said there, if you go beyond the three gunas, you will gain immortality. So now Arjuna asks a question. Kair lingais trin gunan yetan atito bhavati prabho kemachara katam chaitan tri gunan ativartate. Kaihi lingaihi, through what marks of him, yetan atito bhavati prabho, the one who goes beyond them, the one who goes beyond them. What are his marks? How do you recognize him? How do you recognize a man who goes beyond these three gunas? Kim acharaha, what is his conduct? Katham chayetan three gunan ativartate. How does he transcend these three gunas? This question is exactly the same as the question put in the Sthita Prajna portion by Arjuna to Krishna, done some years back, right? Second chapter. What are the marks of him who has crossed over the three gunas, O Lord? What is the conduct and how does he go beyond these three gunas? Bhagavan answers. Sri Bhagavan uvacha prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava nadvesti sampravruttani na nivruttani kankshati. These gunas, because you are active, you need these three gunas. So sometimes light, enlightenment, alertness may manifest. Sometimes activity may manifest. Sometimes delusion may manifest. Light, activity, and delusion, when they are present in him, he doesn't hate them. He doesn't hug them. He knows they are the three I need. I have to use them. I have nothing to do with them. They are there because my vasanas have to find their own exhaustion. So they are there. They find their field in the outside world, Kshetra, and interact. I am a witness. I am a Sakshi. When there is some brilliant lecture going on before me or music going on before me, I enjoy that. I am not I am not swayed away from my balance. I am not put off from my balance. Gurudev once, the greatest musician was brought before Gurudev, instrumentalist. I don't want to tell the name. You all know him. Gurudev listened for a few minutes, then said, enough, this is sensuous. Because it's again belong to the field of senses. For us all to get the knowledge, he said that for our sake, enough, this is also sensuous. That's it. This man rises above that. There's another story. Two very good friends booked most expensive ticket when, say, Michael Jackson was coming to give a concert. One friend went before and waited for the other. He didn't come. After the concert, this friend asked him, you know, you love music, I love music. You know, this is the most awaited performance by anybody who loves music. And the ticket is so expensive. Why didn't you come? Just reflect on this response. He said, the music in me today was so beautiful, I didn't want to disturb it. All the musics and arts create an atmosphere in you to make your mind intellect turn towards the consciousness, and you get the joy from the consciousness. Or the best of music, the best of dance, the best of nature can only provide an environment which can take your mind and intellect towards that consciousness. So said Sri Gurudev. Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava nadvesti sampravruttani nanivruttani kanchate. He doesn't get excited when they come, or he is depressed when they leave, because they are gunas. I have nothing to do with them. Udasayana vatasinaha gunairyo na vichalyate gunavartam taityeva yo avatistati negate. Udasina vati, as though indifferent. Udasina vati, as though indifferent. Asinaha. Uddasinaha, budasinaha means this man is sitting in a higher pedestal. Anything that happens below, he has no interest. A billionaire has no interest when in his business a few lakhs are lost. He is udasinaha. Asinaha gunairyo vichalyate, one who is undisturbed by this constant flux of sattvara-jotamo gunas, gunavartam tityeva, having understood there the play of the gunas, yo avatistati na ingate, and he is self-centered, means he has his balance in the self, in his own self, and doesn't flicker like a lamp kept in a windless place. Samadukka sukha swastaha samalostasma kanchanaha tulya priya priyo dhiraha tulya niddatma samstutihi. He is equal, equanimous in sukha, dukkha, swastaha. He is centered in his own self. Samalostashma kanchanaha. He has no extra value for a clod of earth or a stone or gold. He may use them for sake of others, but he has no value for them. Yes, he can discriminate between a stone and gold, but he will use it for others. He has nothing to gain by them. Tulya priya priyo dhiraha, one who is not swayed by the opposites of dear and not so dear. Tulya nindas stuti samstutihi, one who is independent of praise and censure. Mana pamanayoho tulyas tulyo mitrari pakshayoho sarvarambha parityagi gunatita sabuchyate. Above honor and dishonor, and equal to friends and enemies, sarvarambha parityagi, one who renounced the feeling, I am the doer and the enjoyer, gunatitaha, he has gone beyond the gunas, savuchyate. All these various things that we are talking can only happen when you believe you are the body. When you believe you are the body, mind is generated, intellect is generated. The whole thing is because of the Dehatma Buddhi. To think I am the body, and therefore you feel an enemy, a friend. You feel an honor, dishonor. You feel sukha and dukkha, all because you believe you are the body. For one who believes and knows he is not the body, who is a friend, who is an enemy, because he alone is there in all forms. If existence is my essence, existence is the essence of all. If life is my essence, life is the essence of all. Therefore, I alone am there everywhere. Who is my friend? Who is an enemy? Who is to honor? Who is to be insulted? If I say I am hurt, your ego. If you say you have hurt somebody, your ego. Okay. Mam cha abhyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunam samati yehi tan brahma bhuyaya galpate. How to reach this state? How to go beyond the gunas? Bhagavan says, I have said this in the 7th chapter. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. This maya of my maya of the three gunas is impossible to cross unless mameva ye prapadyanti. You surrender your individuality, your ego to me, the very life in you. You discover I am the so-called you, the ego, or you, the ego, is nothing but God. Once you completely surrender this individuality at the altar of the Godhood, this Maya goes. Till then, all your sadhanas, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, gnana yoga, jnana yoga, cannot give you this release. Only through undivided, unpunctuated, unqualified devotion is there. You can go beyond the gunas. Right? And who am I? Why should you be devoted to me? Brahmano hi pratistaham amrutasya avyayasya cha shashvatasya dharmasya sukasya ekantikasya cha. I am the very substratum of your concept of Brahman. You have a concept of Brahman. I am the very substratum for that. You have also an understanding of the creator Brahma. For him also, I am that substratum. That concept of Brahman or the creator, Brahmaji, all of them, I am the substratum. And the other meaning is conditioned Brahman or unconditioned Brahman. Both are concepts. The concepts should all have a substratum. The concept of unqualified Brahman or qualified Brahman, I am the very support for both these concepts. So therefore, I am the reality. And hence, if you want me, you have to lose your individuality. How will you lose your individuality? Total identification with me. And that total identification is called avyabhichara bhakti. Unswerving, unprostituting devotion. If you have that, you will gain that. Okay. So next class is 15th chapter. I don't know whether we complete that day. If something is there, class after that. With that, we take a break from Geetha through this satsang. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Thank you all. God bless you all. Narayana Narayana Narayana.
Hari Om, uncle.
Om Hari Om Hari